All right. So we've taken a long holiday hiatus, quite painful on my end, but we're back for Alien. And when we left off, I had given everyone experience points, and some of you may have accrued from leftover points 5 experience points, and so would be able to purchase something. I've taken new skills off the table because of the situation of play, but have left talents available. So is there anyone who wants to upgrade the existing character or upgrade a character they may soon be playing?
Me.
Okay, let's go with Jose.
All right, let's go talents. I just want to make sure that I have the correct description, but I will once again shock everybody with my next choice of talent.
Oh, that's to see if my guess was right. Go ahead.
And it shall be tough.
Not surprised.
So what does tough do for those playing at home?
You are used to taking a beating. I've gotten used to it, you know. So you increase so this is as organic as it gets, right? You increase your health by +2. So maximum number for health is strength +2.
That's actually not a bad talent. Your health +2.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna take that as well, because we're all taking a beating. So, and there's not that many.
Plus, you've been subsisting for the last
Awesome.
2 weeks on the strange lichen of LV426.
Maybe
Plus,
that's toughened us up.
It will help us if we survive this. When we have to go through chemotherapy, this will be a lot of fun.
Right.
Toughness will help us.
Okay. So +2 to health. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that costs 5 XPs.
Yes, sir.
Those
So
off.
down to a big 0.
Question for our current status, because I can't remember. We basically did medical rolls for all conditions. I can't remember if we because I have like 3 crits, and so 2 of those are really short term, so they go away, and the other one is a 3-day recovery, so that stays. So the penalty stays until 3 days have passed.
Right. So we will be opening this mission. This will be mission 5. We will be wiping the board of stress. Right. Your panic condition level resets back down to below 7, but you will still be carrying your critical injuries forward. But all the critical injuries themselves were treated. Right.
What do we do about the health bar? Because I have like 2 damage.
Because of the time it takes for transit from the surface off the planet, you will have enough time to recuperate.
Okay.
Splendid. I will also spend my XP to gain another talent.
All right. So what is the talent you were choosing?
It will be killer.
Nice.
That's which one is that? The one where
that is when you actually crit your enemy. You know, they suffer critical injury. You have the option to switch the order of the dice.
The numbers.
You switch the 10s and the 1s. Yes.
Nice. That's very good.
And Craig?
I've just got 2 experience, so I'm just going to sit here.
So that would be enough.
Oh, it is? I thought you said I needed 5.
You do. You earned 3, and you have 2, which is usually.
Did I just not mark it on my sheet? I'm an idiot. All right. I haven't looked. God, I didn't realize I could go shopping. Give me a little minute. I'll be back. Stay tuned.
Hello, friends. Some of us, as we get older in life, we begin to feel like, is my memory fading? Did I not remember that, or did they really just not say it? Well,
Who are these people?
here at Mutual Life, we have, we have the answer for you.
When did we play last? Let me look at the
been a
calendar.
while.
I think
Last year. It was last year. It's all
definitely last year.
Yeah.
11/6 maybe 11/13.
The third week of December was the last time we played, before Christmas.
Oh, really?
All right. So while Craig is searching, our situation is pretty simple, right? And just because it really feels different to me, like one chapter has really ended similarly to when we crashed on the planet. We started mission 4. So we've piled into the Cheyenne. We intend to leave the planet. Jumper is at the controls. Her co-pilot is one of the Montebello crewmen who had been, tortured into complying with Regis Lim's orders to bring the Cheyenne down. You're getting ready to leave orbit. The Cheyenne is not going to be capable of taking you back to base, right? So you'll have to reboard the Montebello and deal with Lim up there in orbit, right? So that's the beginning of mission 5. So Baxter has an abdominal injury, and Baxter has lost a leg. Okay. And Patch has both arms have been disabled, right?
And a bleeding gut.
Has the abdominal injury. And Bodhi, Corporal Rios, has
One arm injured.
right
Because the other 2 crits were
injured shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, the other 2 injuries were short term, stunned and blood in the eyes. So those are gone.
They
Let's not forget that Baxter also has an injured arm, and also his leg that's not severed is actually injured at the ankle. So
that sounds like a name from Vikings.
Yeah,
Bodhi,
sorry.
blood in the eye.
yeah, bloody. Yeah, so.
That's exactly what it is. And yeah, we should change the name of the unit to the one-armed bandits. It's like basically what we are. Or in Craig's case, not even that. So
the bandits.
The bandits. Just
Okay, Baxter now has nerves of steel.
Oh, what does
Nice.
Steel do?
That was
That's a good one.
quite a series of traumatic events that hardened him.
Right. So what is the in-game effect of Nerves of Steel?
Is -2 on the panic. So you keep a cool head in all situations and thus get a -2 modifications to all panic rolls.
There we go. So you're following in the steps of Sergeant Kaminsky.
Yeah.
So do you see him as a role model?
Right. I think Patch is struggling in general with the entire situation, and there's a possibility he might be questioning a little bit of leadership right now. For us to be in this situation, he's might need to figure out who to blame. So
People
we'll have
are
to
hurt,
see.
and it's your fault.
Yeah.
So you might be sensitive to the friction between Rios and Kaminsky in terms of leadership style.
Yeah, it'll. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see it in play. I don't know exactly how Patch is going to react to all of this, but I was thinking about it, and I think that for Patch, having us be in this situation and have gone through what we went through, and you know what? Who knows? He might take it out on Lim. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Taking things out on the enemy could be advantageous at some point in war. Yes. Cool. So would you say that Baxter was the catalyst for these feelings?
Very much so. Yeah.
Okay. Your buddy, your pal.
Yeah.
Cool. Right on. So let's play.
Once there were a few proud men of adventure, men of courage. proud the Marines.
You are in Cheyenne number 2 from the Montebello. It's a dropship that you have traveled in before. Cheyenne number 2 on the Montebello is not outfitted to carry an APC. It's outfitted with troop transport in mind, right? So it lands, the back opens, and people pour out the back, which means it has slightly more space for supplies and that sort of thing. It's carrying reloads, it's carrying replacement weapons, it's carrying body armor, it's carrying medical supplies, and all of this. Okay. Because of the stormy surface of LV-426, liftoff and achieving orbit, and then eventually leaving orbit, will take longer than you are used to, right? So you're getting this kind of flight report from Jumper as she runs through the pre-flight checklist, as Patch is seeing to Baxter and Rios and the like. Okay. Then she notifies Kaminsky that she's ready for liftoff at any time.
All right, let's go.
If the troop carrier is has a full kit, then Bodhi will replace his body armor, which was severely damaged from the aliens' blood.
Right. I think he is not alone.
Yeah, we all need replacement rifles, magazines.
Right. And you're out of magazines as well. So,
All right.
okay.
So we're going to give the Cheyenne a supply rating of 3. All right. So could I have a supply roll for that material, please?
Go for it, Bodhi.
Okay, so it's
If I can.
okay. So that's why is the
That's
light
a glare.
so bright? There we go. Yeah, so first roll is fine.
So there is sufficient material for you to change your armor, to reload your gear, or replace any lost firearms. Now Baxter has lost a leg, okay? Like literally lost a leg, and the question remains is, did anyone bring it?
That's a good question.
So I'm including that in this supply roll.
Okay. We have an extra leg. Look.
So that was the choice I was going to give you. If it had come up, with a, remove 1 supply from your rating, I would have given you the option. Do you want to have armor or do you want to have Baxter's leg? But we don't have to face this question at this time. So you do have Baxter's leg. It does need to be treated for possible reattachment in the auto dock, should you be able to get there. So let's open up with Patch. Dealing with that. This is a medical tech roll.
All right. So I got 5 empathy.
And I can assist.
Okay, I got 3 medical aid. I got 1 extra die for the assist. And surgical kit.
Surgical
Plus
kit
1
would apply. Yes.
All right. Three successes.
Excellent. Should you live long enough to gain access to an auto dock or similar facility, this leg, for at least for a while, will be all right. Okay.
That's phenomenal.
Now, the immediately life-threatening critical injuries were taken care of, but the abdominal injuries were not. And if they're not, by the time you reach orbit, then it will be necessary, according to the rules of the game, to make death rolls.
So we need to treat that as well.
Yes. So Patch is a and of course Rios can assist, but not with his own. But Rios doesn't
just
have
give a
one of
dice.
those injuries, so we're okay.
All right. Does Rios want to do mine first?
Ooh, that'd be a good idea. Oh,
Because
We
Patch
add
is swaying
the-
on his feet, and the pain is spreading, and there's numbness, and
right. So that's +2 to the med roll, or is it the surgical kit?
it's surgical kit. It's plus
It's
one.
surgical kit, so it's just +1. Okay, so my medicine is 5 base die, +1 from the surgical kit is 6. And that's about it, right?
Yep. So it's at this point that Jumper gives a signal that she's ready to lift, right? Kaminsky says, go. The ship starts to shake. Lights come on, right? You can see that she's lit the exterior spots on the ship. And roll the dice.
All right, that's a 6.
Okay. Whew.
So that just means I don't die, right?
This means the critical injury has been addressed and you're not going to face a very likely death. Yes.
You will
Got it.
recover, yeah.
But Baxter, meanwhile, has slipped into signs of shock, and he's looking very pale.
All right. So, and now Rios, you can assist with this one, right?
Correct. So
And
it's
in this
+1.
precise moment, over your comms, you hear both pilots, right, the pilot and the co-pilot, scream out something inarticulate. And the Cheyenne shudders sideways.
Oh,
Oh well. What do we?
Someone want to go up front? I'm kind of busy here.
Yeah,
I'm a little
yeah,
busy
running
too
to the,
there, Patch.
yeah, I'm running to the cockpit, obviously.
Okay.
See what the heck's.
Over the shoulder of the two pilots, right? You've got to climb up a short flight of stairs up to the cockpit level, and looking over their shoulders out through the armor glass of the window, you can see two things. One, shadowy figures of multiple alien forms, right? Leaping from boulder to boulder through the brilliant white of the spotlights, and they're disappearing behind the fog of the upraised dust from the engines and from the wind of LV-426 itself. But you can see multiples of them charging the ship. But some of them must already be there because of the pounding on the exterior hull. But worse than that is Holden. Holden is slipping and falling down that rough embankment. He's got aliens behind him framed in the spotlight, and they're extending their mandibles, and you can see the glittering, dripping juice, and he's reaching out and he's sliding down in a cloud of dust, probably screaming, but you can't hear him over the engines, right?
Wow.
good thing I had 2 backup characters.
And those who are aware of this situation receive a stress for Holden.
Okay.
Those who
Alright.
are aware of the pounding on the hull, you know what it means. You receive a stress for that situation.
Got it.
I'm aware of the pounding, but not of Holden. That's about it. Good.
And the ship is literally shaking. So Patch is there with his cutting tools. And
Whoa.
right, because the ship has to hover for a moment before it generates enough force before it can start to take off, and it has to move around, on the surface for a ways before it can gain any lift. So it's vulnerable to this kind of attack for an amount of time.
Are you taking dice away from me, Anthony?
To make it more difficult, I am,
Yeah.
because that's why I'm here.
I could smell that. How many are you taking from me?
Just one. Just one.
Okay. All right. It appears I may have saved somebody's life. I got a success.
All right. Excellent. All right. So without too much additional scarring. Okay. So Kaminsky,
Yes.
Holden, he's surrounded by the aliens. He's sliding down the embankment. He's trying to get the Cheyenne. The Cheyenne is already lifted off. It's a good 10, maybe 15 feet off the ground.
And it's covered with aliens, right?
It may or may not be covered with aliens. Yeah.
What kind of weapons are on this thing?
There are so many weapons on the ship. There's a, for example, 25 millimeter Gatling cannon, and then there's bigger weapons. Yeah. It's forward mounted.
All right. Let's see. This is why I'm glad I'm in a job where I don't have to make any difficult choices.
It's really funny.
So if you're curious about the weaponry on a Cheyenne, the Cheyenne is in the spaceship section of
Okay.
of the Colonial Marines book.
Okay.
Marines book.
I mean, obviously, the issue is here. You know,
It's-
not talking like a Kaminsky. Opening a hatch is like
Opening a
killing
hatch, yeah,
everybody.
it's like.
So I'm
probably-
thinking that the humane thing to do. Wow, it's quite a storm out there. The humane thing to do is.
Yes.
is shoot Holden is the
With the 25
Yes.
millimeter Gatling.
yeah,
Yes.
it'll be quick and painless.
Yes. Are those pilot operated, or is there a separate station?
It's both. It's normally switched to the pilots, and on Cheyenne #1, which has the APC rack in the back, it's pilot only, right? There's no way for the people in the APC to interact with the ship's weapons. But in this variant, there is a gunnery station and a sensor station back with the Marines, just in case. Right? So,
All right, so I'll do it.
Oh, nice. 25 millimeter Gatling gun,
Yeah.
unguided rocket launcher, Hellhound 2 tactical missiles, and air-to-air missiles. Not bad.
so the appropriate weapon choice is the Gatling
Right.
Correct.
cannon.
And it's like the A10 nose gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
like
do it.
underkill.
Say again.
Seems like underkill. I mean, there's so many other more interesting weapons you could use. But, you know, yeah, use a Gatling gun.
All right. Is there any bonus to that? Let's see. Colonial.
Did you have it right there, Aloy? Should I look it up?
But the ship?
Yeah.
Let me check. No, but I'm on the page that has the ship itself. All it says is the armament, but I would need to look at it.
What is it? A Gatling gun?
It's a 25 millimeter Gatling gun.
+3.
Ah,
Damage
there we
3.
go.
Armor piercing, full auto.
All right.
Extreme range.
And 2 stress. All right.
So, and
Do
also,
I get?
firing on Holden is going to provide stress as well, obviously.
Yeah.
For this role as well, right?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, Kaminsky is completely alone when he does that, so none of these yahoos have to know.
Can see that. Yeah.
Well, can see what he looks like. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, that's 1 success plus the extra stress dice. I got 2 successes.
Nice.
Okay. As the ship pulls away, and Jumper held it steady for just that little bit longer, right? Holden dissolves into a red mist that stains the surface of LV-426, but then is taken from your sight, and you begin to feel the thrust of the Cheyenne, kick in beneath you, and Baxter sliding a little bit across the deck, and it's time to strap in. But the pounding is still happening, but it seems to be dropping off and receding down the hull toward the rear.
Does it sound?
Go ahead.
Are we in danger of? Are they falling? Can we get a sense if they're falling off? Like this problem's going to take care of itself, or
Give me a gun, Patch.
Assess?
Give me a gun.
Okay.
Give me a gun, Patch.
You need to sit down.
Give me. I'm laying. Give me a pistol or something, Patch.
Once Kaminsky's gone over the horrible thing he's had to do, he's gonna personally check all the hatches. Limp to all the hatches because my toes are broken by acid.
Right. Yeah.
We're all so banged up. It's ridiculous.
All right, so I'm going to take Holden off of the chart. Patch has 1 stress. Baxter has 1 stress. Kaminsky is now at 3 stress.
Correct.
And Rios is at 1 stress. Okay. Excellent. So Jumper and her co-pilot are sharing information, and they're relaying some information about, finding the right vector for leaving the atmosphere. And that's when the long-range sensors go off for a proximity alert, and feeding across Kaminsky's screen. And everybody knows what this sound represents. It represents that there is another aircraft, right, that the Cheyenne has been painted. And it's scrolling across Kaminsky's readout and in the cockpit as well, that a MiG 730 has you in its sights. This is a single-seater fighter plane.
You've got to be kidding me. Strap yourselves in when the alarm goes off, right? You're okay, Baxter. There's got to be some way to secure.
Yeah, I'm tying
There's
him
like
down,
webbing
strapping him
or
down.
something.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Is Baxter like holding his own leg like this to keep it safe?
No. Got one function, just get and then here in the MiG, it's like, give me a bigger gun, Patch. A bigger gun. Oh,
I'll hand them a pistol, right? One of the service pistols. Here you go.
Well, technically, if he's sitting, he could use a bipod on the smart gun, right?
That's true.
To brace it.
But I'll just give him a handgun.
The Jumper's calling out
Good idea.
extreme range and closing. And there's a signal on channel 4 calling for Kaminsky. But Sarge, I don't think he knows if you're alive or not. I think he's just fishing.
Bodhi, answer.
All right. So, Rio's here.
Corporal Rios, your friends call you Bodhi, don't they?
That's right.
Why is that?
Everybody needs a nickname, and my name's hard to pronounce. So everybody goes with Bodhi.
Gotcha. How'd that make you feel?
Feels good. Feels good. Like it's a family.
Speaking of family, did you bring my children up from the surface?
We have a few.
How many is a few, and are they well protected? Did you seal them in the crates according to the instructions?
We only managed to get one, and I'm of course lying through my teeth here.
All right, let's lie.
Yes, let us lie. Lying is empathy and manipulation,
Yeah.
which is not good for me.
Well, you have empathy, right?
I have a 4 empathy. It's not too bad. Oh, I have 1 stress. Hang on. That's awesome. So here we go. Yes. Yes, I am lying.
Are you?
I am lying
Look at you.
successfully. Yes.
Yeah, look at that. Interesting. He goes,
Uh,
you've got 1.
they didn't exactly have time to. A lot of time in there. Things went bad pretty quick.
What do you
Think you
mean?
can
It's
see
been
that.
sitting there undisturbed for decades.
Not anymore. Now there's the whole surface is crawling with your little pets.
But you survived?
We managed to
He
get
sounds a little
to,
bit disappointed.
yeah, we managed to get to shelter.
One will have to do.
All right, so should we bring it up?
If you try anything funny, my man Coyote will atomize you.
Yeah, you
Ask my
are.
pilots about Coyote. You may think they're your pilots, but they've learned that they are my pilots.
Yeah, look, we realize you're holding the cards here. You made us an offer back then. And didn't sound all that realistic. So
You
tell
didn't
you
believe
what,
I have that much money?
honestly, no.
Huh.
But here's the deal. We can renegotiate. There's no need for that much money. Just let us live and pay us a salary, man. Enough money to live. That's all we want.
Before my worse nature takes advantage of your kind offer, have one of your men check the refrigerated food storage locker.
Oh,
I'll go signal somebody to go take a look.
I'll go.
Yeah, because he's right there listening, right? So
Yeah.
So in the refrigerated food storage locker, there are bundles of plastic wrapped cash, blocks of them.
It's not what I was anticipating.
yeah.
I was thinking of crewmen, right?
Exactly.
So,
Well,
the type of credit note that you could carry from colony to colony on the down low.
that is a lot of money, definitely. Well, I think we have a deal then.
All right then.
So we'll be We'll start our docking run now.
Excellent.
Holden out. I mean, Bodie, Rio's out.
Whatever.
Holden's out.
Then it's out.
Completely out. He's way out.
Yeah.
That's where the fun is. Way out.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lim signs off, sounding pleased with himself.
Pleased. Yes. Well, how's the sound outside? Are we still carrying aliens? It's like, because I might not have been lying, technically.
There have been no further bangs. There haven't
Okay.
nothing, no part of the ship seems to be dissolving or anything along those lines. But Jumper is saying, what's in the locker? What's in the locker?
It's cash. It's
What?
cash. A lot of cash.
You're not going to take it, are you?
Well, right now I couldn't give it down the cash. We don't have what he asked for, so it's not. It's not like
There's no deal right now.
There's
Yeah.
no deal. We do not have what he wanted. He wanted one of the eggs, Lieutenant,
Right now we're alive,
and we did not bring one of them. So
and we're not going to get shut down docking with the Montebello, which is our only way out of here. So let's focus on that. So what we need to do is get in contact with whoever's left up there. I'm sure he has a bunch of those android things with the masks on. And so we don't know what he did with the rest of the crew. Maybe they're some
Co-pilot pipes up. Right. He says, he holds the bridge. He holds Mother. And he holds the docking bay. He holds cryo. And he's using the Marines who are still in cryo as leverage.
right.
But some
of
men
course,
have the weapons command center. And they have the engine room. So they're holding orbit as their bargaining chip.
Our men have the engine room. Okay, so out of character, I would ask, that's where the self-destruct is at, right? The engine room.
It's one of the exciting places aboard the Montebello where you can blow the ship to kingdom come. Yes.
Right. No, that's important because then, that's another bargaining chip that we can get. Okay. So, does he have a large number of troops? Is it mostly androids, or have some of our men gone over to his side?
Honestly, Corporal, I don't know. When they tortured me, it was Lim and 2 associates, and they weren't synthetics or Joes. They were people.
All right. So he does have some crew there. Sarge, what do you think? We need to get to cryo first, it seems.
yeah, we agreed. We take that bargaining chip. It'll be easier for us to strike back.
Right. Well, I mean, if our men are holding the engine room and we can secure cryo, then we hold most of the ship, of the chips.
Yeah, I guess our target priorities would be cryo and Mother, and then we can try and get him out of
Right. I mean,
the bridge.
I'm sure we can thaw off more troops if we can secure cryo.
Agreed.
I might be able to disconnect Mother from cryo too. So if we can secure it, that's something I'm familiar with cryo. So I might be able to connect it from the network.
Is there a crate here, like an empty crate? Because we had a crate from the terrain vehicle, Is there a similar crate, like a specimen crate, here in the Cheyenne that we can use to bluff our way through?
Would you like to use your talent for that? It's supposed to be like a portable thing, but yeah.
The thing, it's a portable.
But you were already talking
Specimen
about bluffing,
game.
so it would have been an easy thing to move it over. So
Yeah, so maybe we can have a crate and, at least make it look like we have something for at least for purposes of disembarking and getting a move. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I think he's not going to trust us. He knows we're sneaky and untrustworthy, so he'll be
Hey.
there.
So, wait, Jumper, and I clearly I can't go talk to her, so I have to radio her. Because,
The intercom. Yeah.
yeah, Jumper, where else can you get us in the ship besides the main docking bay?
well, surely you remember, right? There is a forward dock closer to the bridge. But I think that falls under doing something funny. And
Hmm.
We might
I
get shot.
don't know if I can beat a MiG in a Cheyenne.
That's true.
Do you really think this guy can get a shot at us without risking hitting the Montebello? If you're doing that,
As a factor of scale, Baxter, what he fires at us will tear us to pieces. What he fires at the Montebello might be noticed.
okay, duly
All right.
noted, Jumper. I
So
thought you were a miracle worker. Never mind.
Let's list
So-
off the number of miracles, and then she breaks off to communicate some telemetry information, and then she completes her sentence after she's done, that I have completed since this mission began, shall we? Not the least of which was surfing another ship through the atmosphere.
You're a wonder, sweetheart.
Thank you.
I don't know, guys. He's gonna hold the docking bay. He's gonna hold it with a lot of people.
well, we do have a Gatling gun on
Yeah,
this. crate.
you're thinking exactly the way I am, buddy. I'm thinking maybe our best bet here is to use the ship itself once we're in there. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not gonna be a hell of a lot of use.
Yeah,
Well, you can fire the Gatling gun.
that's true.
Yeah, just get me over there and strap me in. That'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll strap you to gunny chair. And I think our option in the loading bay will be shock and awe.
Yeah.
Or perhaps while you're holding them off with the Gatling gun, the rest of us can try and sneak off the ship and stealth our way to the cryo chamber.
I mean, right. Yeah. As Jumper gets us in, she can open the hatch and we'll just do a combat drop, right? We'll just disembark the Cheyenne and hightail it to the cryo.
Remember that
area.
at the rear of the docking bay, we gain access to cryo, the Marines briefing room, the lockers, and sick bay.
Right.
Are all in that next section before
Corridor.
to engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the intent, right? We can survey the docking bay as we go in. If there's a lot of people between us and cryo, make a sweep with a Gatling gun in that direction. Then we disembark and Jumper opens fire on whatever's left. And, I suppose the MiG is going to try and land inside the bay with us. I guess Jumper will have to stay on the ship and see if she can provide cover fire from that. Is that reasonable? Because I don't know how we move Baxter. If we get, can we move Baxter? Or we can't walk. He doesn't have a leg, right? So
We're not moving Baxter.
Right.
Yeah,
I like the
I
stand.
mean,
Well, you'd have
but
to,
Baxter should be manning the Gatling.
On the
That's
ship
what makes
with
sense, yeah.
Jumper. So Jumper
Right.
and Baxter at least stay on the ship, and the rest of us hightail it to the cryo.
I'm thinking that the Gatling fire for our welcoming committee might be a good distraction. It sounds doubtful that Lim will come meet us at the docking bay, right? We'll probably send some people.
Right.
So because he's too close to the areas that the
No,
other
he
folks are
knows.
holding.
He's going to be on the lookout for foul play. So he's going to be holding the cryo people against us. And, he's going to send some goons to inspect the
Or
the crate.
robots.
Right. Or robots, right? If he doesn't want to risk his people. But, I don't know. I think we just open fire and disembark and just, just like, that's what we do in amphibious landings, right? So open the hatch and rush out. Guns blazing.
now, the whole time the planning has been going on, you've been moving away from the planet. Atmosphere is getting thinner. The storm sounds are growing lighter, right? And finally, you can see through the thin canopy of upper atmosphere, you can start to see the stars, and distantly you can see the glittering light that is the Montebello, right? As Jumper begins to follow its beacon, to make her orbital approach, and off, right? Off the port bow, anyone who goes up to the cockpit to take a look and look down on a planet that maybe you thought you would never have escaped from, you can see the Russian, or the MiG 730 design. It's a swept wing barrel shaped craft with a huge intake in the front and downward pointing control vectors. It's a brute of a machine, right? And he's maintaining pace out there, and there's always this ping, right, at regular intervals, maintaining this target lock, right? So you can never forget that he's there. But during all of this, right, glucose drip being set up for Baxter and bandages being wrapped around Kaminsky's foot and this sort of thing, there's this locker full of millions and millions of dollars, more money than you could ever hope to be in the same room with. And it's whispering, So I would like empathy checks. I think the game speaks to us about empathy, and if we want to do things that are cold and calculating and ruthless and whatnot, we need to fail these empathy checks. But think of all the good
Fail
you
the
do for
checks,
yourself
yeah.
and your family if you get this one.
This is
I
stressed
still
out.
have 3 stress, so that's fine.
Yes, I failed the check.
I've got 1 success.
I failed it also.
Interesting.
Oh man, I got 2 successes.
Oh,
Can buy a leg, buy a motorized wheelchair.
All right. So if we are empathetic, that means we're concerned about our fellow humans. If we're not empathetic, it means that we're not. If we fail the empathy check, we can blow the guy away, even though he's right. So those of us who failed this check, the money is whispering to you, right? It's painting this picture of a life outside the USCMC, maybe in the service of some mercenary company. It's like, if he can just give this kind of money away, how much more money is there?
Right.
This doesn't represent something that you have to do. This represents something that it now seems perfectly reasonable to do, right? But for Baxter, right, can't betray the core, man. Can't betray the core.
Patch
Yeah,
feels the same, obviously.
Baxter's dying anyway, so it's like I don't need money,
Well, buy a really shiny artificial leg. Oh God.
All right, so Montebello swims larger and larger in the forward screen and in the readouts of the weapons console on the port side of the Cheyenne's personnel bay, and you get closer and closer, and then telemetry data starts coming in. You can hear the co-pilot is the one doing the talking. Jumper's not doing the talking with the Montebello, and you see the hatch underneath, slowly begin to open, and light spills out, illuminating the battle scarred bottom, right? It's been oxidized. There's holes blown in the armor. Some of its huge, like its main turret, underside turret, has been completely torn away or blown away. And she's moving in for a gentle approach. Maybe the first time you've ever been able to dock with an enemy ship under normal port rules with Jumper. Right? No barrel rolls, no high speed insertions, no crashing through doors or any of those things.
Probably seems real.
Okay, lock and load.
Imagine I have a front row seat to her, like a smooth piloting, being strapped to the Gatling gun here. Now that's like amazing.
Okay. So we have, do I understand correctly? We have Baxter strapped into the weapons console.
Right.
Okay.
And the rest of us are ready to disembark.
With an IV.
Yeah.
With an IV. and the rest of you are ready to flood out the back of the Cheyenne.
Correct.
Okay, so you know how this works, right? It docks, it gets picked up by a cradle, right? The dock closes beneath, it gets lifted up to the second floor of the docking bay. Okay. And as you reach the top, as it locks into position, you can see over Jumper's shoulders, right? There is a welcoming committee in Lim's uniform, right? And they have blindfolded, handcuffed Marine hostages, held with weapons to hit.
How many of them? How many hostages?
There are 2 human guards, 2 human mercs, and there are 2 working Joes with Lim masks present that you can see from the forward cockpit. You're blind to what might be behind.
How many hostages?
2, 1 each.
2.
All right. It's become a lot more fun.
I'm going to add a stress.
Everybody?
So Corporal, what's the play exactly? Were we taking the crates out like we're just delivering and then boo, we're going to surprise them? Like what are we doing?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try. You said that there's 2 and 2 that we can see.
Yep. There's 2 mercs,
So-
there's 2 hostages, and there's 2 working Joes.
Right.
So, and we're at the second floor of the thing, right? So if we're going to go down to the deck, we need to what? Rappel down a rope?
You could
Fast
do that.
rope it down?
You
Yeah.
can get down, catwalk stairwells. You can take the lift. You have options.
Oh,
How
okay.
How would they normally take supplies on and off? Is there a lift that comes up?
Normally,
for
the
supply?
Cheyenne would be lowered down to the main deck. The APC
Okay.
would be driven on. The armaments would be loaded on that deck, right? When it's stored, it's up on the upper deck. So this was a decision made by the
By Lim,
person controlling the dock, right? So
Gotcha.
they
Sarge, tell 'em
isolated the Cheyenne.
tell them we can't bring the presents off here from here.
How big is the crate? You know, does it make
Remember,
sense
it's the
that that
size
would
of
be
your
an
torso.
excuse?
If you can leave the ship, so can it.
So can
Yeah.
it, yeah. So it doesn't. That's not a good excuse. So
We see. That's Jumper though. It's like any way to get eyes around the rest of the ship or no? Kind of blind except for front forward. No other way to get a good look at what's around us.
That's right,
Well,
Baxter.
Thanks, Jumper.
so we could
You're welcome.
theoretically step off the ship with the crate.
Yep.
And you know, start walking towards them, and then act at the last
well,
minute.
They think they haven't heard from me.
That's true.
So maybe while you talk to them, I can try and sneak off and get a flanking position on them.
Try and snipe off.
Snipe off at least one, and then maybe you can get the other if we catch them by surprise.
I think we're gonna have to try and shoot. You know, the hostages are there, but you know, I think this is where we need to make a decision, right? We'll make an attempt, but if we can't, then we're lost anyway.
Baxter, the robots are yours.
Take the masks off them, Sergeant, and run like hell. But okay.
I don't think we're going to be able to get close enough. So,
No.
So the robots are yours, and I think you guys bring down the crate. Keep talking. When I get in position, I try to take out one of the hostage holders, and you guys try to take out the other one. So
Right.
Baxter plays with his friends.
Right. That's as good a plan as we can make.
And can one person carry this crate? So could I carry the crate?
So
Okay.
it's, you know,
So
it's like it's cooler sized, right? You could
Got
put
it.
two. You could put 2 of the eggs in it.
So Corporal, I'll have my gun on my back. I'll carry the crate. I'm the least effective in a firefight, so
Okay.
I can drop it. I do want to do if there's any opportunity for me to say something to Baxter without out of earshot of everybody, whether it be coming up, you know, behind and whispering, or when I'm strapping him in, I'd like to do that as well. So let me know when that opportunity arises.
That would be now.
So being very aware of where Jumper's looking, where everybody's looking, hoping that Sergeant Corporal out of there. I kind of lean in with Baxter, and I said, this thing can't get out. So if shit goes sideways, and as I say that, I'm putting a grenade in his hand.
Thanks.
And I'm just going to walk away.
Just to make sure we don't have any of the eggs, right?
No, we don't.
No
This
eggs.
is all bluff. This is a
I
sealed
thought we
crate.
had an egg.
No, this
No,
is
no,
a sealed crate.
no.
I thought you were telling me I could just kill myself really good.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I for some
Blow
reason
myself
I thought
up.
we
Myself on
grabbed
the head,
an
you
egg.
know.
God,
No.
That's how
This is all
convincing
bluff.
Bodhi is.
that's right.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
All right, Marines, this is it. Semper Fi, do or die. Let's go.
Don't fuck up.
So, Jumpers.
Actually, before we leave, I think if you have one of those Napolines, you should give it to Kaminsky, because I've been accruing stress like nobody's business.
Oh, okay. Sure. There's 3 left. Unless there were more medical supplies, in which it should be 5.
I have 5.
right? Oh, so you're all set.
Yeah, so I'll give you one.
So give him
Kaminsky.
one of yours. Yeah.
All right, so that clears the stress or lowers it
Clears.
by...
No,
All
clears.
right. Perfect. All right.
But you can't use it again, right? It's
Sure. Just
or does the effectiveness go down? I forget.
I don't remember.
There's something
Yeah, there's
about
a problem
using
with
it.
it, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, your
yeah.
nerves get jittery, if I remember correctly.
You're quite the optimist if you think we're going to have a chance to use another.
Well, I'm
All right,
keeping
so
my 2
Kaminsky
stress.
now
This is
at
going to help me
0
shoot.
Stress. down from the huge lofty heights that he had climbed to, but everyone else is sitting at 3. So
I had
I had 2.
2. Yeah.
but I just added one when you arrived.
Yeah, but we had.
You
Oh,
had
okay.
one,
Well,
then you had
I
another
thought we
one.
had 1. Yeah. Okay, so 3.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
Anybody
so
else
thinking-
gonna
Semper is
smoke
just-
'em?
is commenting to Kaminsky that if she needs backup, all right, if Kaminsky needs backup, she might consider it because, Sarge, he's expecting the pilot of this thing to be a broken man in a hospital gown, but that's not me.
I can see that. Right, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and you know what? Considering what we're about to attempt, I think I'm going to take an nap leave as well. Yeah, because 3 stress is not where you want to get face huggers. So
Anyone else while we're giving out the
Happy juice.
drugs, man, the drugs.
I just administer.
I'm
I don't
fine.
get high on my own supply.
okay, so here we go. So she signals and the co-pilot trips the switch and the rear loading door begins to drop into place, right? It's very wide, right? A whole APC can drive down something this width, right? So you've got lots of room to maneuver. And at the back of the ship, which you couldn't see before, there are 2 more mercs, and they are standing there with pulse rifles.
All right.
4 mercs, 2 Joes.
Hostages.
All right, so the
So-
hostages are at the front of the ship, right?
Right.
So if anything goes awry, you can expect them to be.
Yeah. And there's no other way to leave the ship.
Right, just from the rear.
Okay.
It's a very simple and cheap design, which is why it's so popular with the USCMC.
And it's just Rios and I at the top of the ramp right now.
Right, Baxter's tied to a chair. Kaminsky's being the invisible man.
Yep.
With Jumper, who's being the invisible woolman. And there's Holden was turned to greasy paste on LV-426.
So I'll tell Whisper to Patch. Let's move to where the guys with the hostages. Go. And we start walking.
I'm like a half step behind Rios.
Right.
Okay. So one of the mercs signals, says, Corporal, I need to check the readings on the case.
This is coming from the hostage holders.
No, from the 2 mercs at the rear of the ship, you come down the ramp, you're making your turn to
Okay.
go toward the hostage holders, and he says,
Mhm.
Corporal, I need to check the readings on the case. And he's got an earpiece in, like he's communicating with
And what information would the readings give, Anthony?
If it's empty, at least it's going to give him that.
it would give the internal temperature.
Okay. That's what I was
But
thinking.
it-
I don't know if it would. Yeah, it's not going to say which we would have set, right? So I don't think this gives us up. And I'm carrying it like it's heavy.
All right. Let's do that. Let's carry it like it's heavy. That's manipulation.
All right. All right, so I've got 5 for empathy, no manipulation, 3 stress.
It's awesome.
1 success, which is meaningless because I got a hugger.
Told you should take the nap leave.
Well, he has a -2.
It's not
tell me
meaningless. It just means
I'm
that
kidding. I'm kidding.
you have
That
a
you get
chance
to
for
roll
a
stress. Right.
little bit
yeah.
of emotion.
A little bit of panic.
All right, so I get another stress.
No,
Oh no,
you just roll.
Roll
D6.
panic. D6 plus 3.
plus 3, right?
-2.
Minus 2.
Minus- yeah,
Now -2
so
because
D6
your
plus
nerves
1.
of steel.
Oh, that's right. So,
So
that's
a 6 plus 3 is 9, minus 2 is 7.
7.
Yep.
Nervous
Or
twitch.
6 plus 1 is 7.
Stress level of all friendly PCs in short range of you increases by 1. That'd be
That's Rios.
Yes. Good
But-
thing I
but-
took the nap relief. Yeah.
But the success still
Stands.
counts.
Yeah.
Success stands. All right. So Patch is now not below 7.
And his stress goes up to 4 because he
Yeah.
does get
Correct.
1 extra stress.
Patch is at 7. And Rios is now at 1. Oh. Okay. And I'm going to make an observation check. Okay. So he leans in, he checks the temperature, make sure that you're not cooking the eggs, right? Deep frying them or whatever. And he says, move forward.
So he waves us through.
Yep, around the side of the Cheyenne.
All right. So we start moving in the direction of the hostage takers, right? Where are the mercs, right? And we got one in front of us. Are the other ones following us? Are the other ones looking into the Cheyenne?
So the ones you saw from the cockpit, they're still there in front of the cockpit.
Those are the ones with the hostages.
With the
Yes,
hostages.
and they're there with
Okay.
the working Joes. And
Okay.
the 2 guards that you met at the rear of the ship,
Back.
they
Mhm.
will follow you.
Yes.
We're
thank God.
screwed. All right. So we keep moving until
So you're going around the side of the ship. You close in on the 2 hostages who can't see anything, right? They have no idea what's going on. They're just trying to keep it together. But you can see that they're sweating and they've probably been abused and threatened. And
I'm getting the feeling this Lim isn't a very nice guy. I don't know what you guys.
yeah.
It's quite the hot take.
So is Kaminsky able to sneak out the back?
Guessing we
find
have to
out.
roll for that.
yeah,
So I have my mobility dice and my stress. No stress die, right? I wasn't close range,
right. No stress.
or did I guess no
No
stress?
stress.
Any penalties or bonuses I ought to
Get a
know
bonus
about?
from another set of eyes from Jumper, right? You're working together, so she'll give you an
Perfect.
assistance die.
I got 1 success.
Okay. So we have a parade moving down the side of the Cheyenne toward the hostages, right? With Rios and Patch side by side, Patch selling the heavy crate, right? And behind them, the 2 guards walking side by side, kind of poking
The
you with
guards
the
are
pulse
like,
rifles.
look how his arms are trembling. It must be really heavy from the jittery.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's
They just
hands
look
are
heavy.
shaking. Already.
And then behind them is Kaminsky, and behind Kaminsky is Jumper.
And I would have told Jumper, that once we're in range, right? I'll take the hostage holder on the right. She takes the other ones, basically, so we don't duplicate.
So we need initiative.
Okie dokie.
Alright.
All right.
And we have Ivan in the gun well.
Got-
Let's
got
not forget
one job,
Baxter.
Ivan.
Got one job. One job. No, don't mess it up. All right, I'm gonna go with the way I see people on the screen. So Baxter is on a 10. We've got somebody write this down. We got Baxter on a 10. We
Okay,
got
hang on.
Bodie on a 7.
Oh, jeez.
Back.
Listen, man.
No, it's cool. It's not your fault. It's
Totally his
Is
fault. He
it
broke-
Baxter's the first to act in the second round. That's how I look at it.
I know exactly. We've got Patch is on a 6.
Okay.
And Kaminsky
just
is on a 1, of course.
well, yeah. Well, he starts the action, right?
Do we need something for Jumper or is Jumper?
We're waiting for his signal, so that makes sense
Yeah.
to me.
Let's just fold Jumper into Kaminsky.
Okay, and
We need 2 sets of NPC.
all right, first set is a 5. And the second set is an 8.
And eventually I'm going to need reinforcements, so please draw 1 more card.
Okay, and the reinforcements are on a 3.
Anthony, are you doing the one on Teams? Because I'm looking at your screen and I'm not seeing.
I'll be
I'm
right
not-
back. I have to get my other.
I'm not doing the one on Teams.
Okay.
But if someone wants to do the one on Teams, that would be awesome instead of me.
What was Patches? 6?
Yeah, so to read it off, the Kaminsky Jumper duo 1, Rios 7, Baxter 10, Patch 6.
Patch 6. Okay, and so the NPCs were what?
5, 4, and 3.
Oh, this is so bad. Okay, I'm doing it on Teams.
Thanks.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys better get enough success as the first round to switch initiatives.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a real short firefight. Don't worry about it.
But how bad could it be?
Extremely bad. We're outnumbered. We got hostages. This is going to be a nightmare. We're all together, so they can't use the Gatling gun. This is horrible.
Also with the
This is
Gatling
the-
gun, they're too
As-
close, right? It can't.
It's like, this is
Yeah.
completely,
You have
yeah.
a better chance of knocking them over with the Gatling gun than shooting them.
It's a complete Charlie Foxtrot is what we're in situation here.
Mission 5, everybody's favorite mission.
Yes, mission 6 is about to start. So-
Meanwhile, back on Earth, new
Yeah.
recruits graduate from the Marine Academy.
Season 2. We lose Ivan?
He had to excuse himself for a moment. Everybody has their weapon bonuses and has refreshed their health because you had so much time to recover. And
That is done.
6 and 2 is usually 8
Usually.
and 1 stress. Yeah.
okay, welcome back, Ivan.
Okay.
Okay. So as far as the guards know, as far as the working Joes know, everything's going according to plan, right?
Right.
People believe the lie that you're selling. You've got a crate full of what he was after. This standoff is almost over. You seem to be cooperating. No one has to die today. It's that kind of vibe. They're ready to kill you if, right, you reveal your treachery, but maybe you're on the team now, right? So there's a little bit of bravado, there's a little bit of swagger, but there's terror evident, right, in the threat to your fellow Marines.
Well, if Kaminsky can sneak off and do like a sneak attack, maybe he can take out both hostage people.
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
the idea is for Jumper and I to try and at least wound the hostage takers. So let's see
Okay,
how
so
that
hostage
goes.
takers. So you could be going down the other side of the Cheyenne. You could be going under the Cheyenne. You have options.
I think we go on the other side, but our goal is to get somewhere that we can fire from cover, right?
Right. So you can have minor cover, right? Which would be a cover of 2 dice behind the skids of the Cheyenne.
Okay. That sounds good.
This would be at medium range because of factors.
All right.
The curvature of the Cheyenne's hull and just the layout of everything.
But and we should have time to aim, so
Yes,
that
balances out.
right. So that's the plan.
So you're going to open with some
Uh,
aggressive negotiations.
Right, as they're looking for, question.
Yeah.
Are the guys, the other 2 guys, are they behind our friends?
Okay, so in front of the Cheyenne, right? The Cheyenne's on a rectangular landing pad. The middle of that landing pad drops the Cheyenne down to the lower deck, right? So there's a permanent walkway all the way around. That's where you are. So that's where they are, in front of the Cheyenne. So the 2 guards they're holding their hostages in front of them like a body shield, like a meat shield. And the 2 working Joes are standing next to them, just kind of standing there. Right. So it's a row of 4 enemies, and then in front of the 2 humans are your
Us
2.
walking towards them, and behind us is the
Right,
other
you guys
2
are down the
guards.
other side of the Cheyenne,
Right,
right? And behind you are 2 more of the mercenaries.
right. Go with the plan, man. Try to take down the hostage takers.
And you guys know that you have to whirl around and try to shoot the other guys before they kill you. So,
Right.
geez.
Patch, you might want to trade initiative scores with me. I don't know if
Yeah.
one number is going to do. So I could go on a 6 and you could go on a 7.
Yep.
So I'm
And
just a little bit better at shooting than you at this particular time.
Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay. So the shot is going to, Kaminsky's shot is what starts the combat. So basically, this is where we are. But could I have an observation check from Kaminsky, please?
Of course. That's observation. That's 6 dice. Great. That's right. 1 success.
All right. So things that aren't included in the roll are, of course, the damage to the side of the Cheyenne that wasn't there when you got in it on LV-426, right? There's dents in the armor plating. There's scratches on the armor plating. There's sections of armor plating that have been peeled back. These are just obvious. You kind of have to step around them, right? The whole side is stressed.
And that's when you see the drip of clear
No,
resin.
not a drip of clear resin. That's when you
1 GM.
hear the sizzle of
this-
acid.
Oh, okay. Of course there is. Because it would be too simple to just because our operation, our plan is just too simple. So, we need to make it more complicated.
And where do I hear it from?
Somewhere up, above, and behind you. Not close, right?
Okay.
On the bright side, we seem to have completed what Lim wanted us to get. Procure a specimen. We got your specimen.
All right.
I see. I didn't lie.
Didn't lie. I was telling the truth. I got your specimen. It's just not.
But we have comms, right? We have comms to a private channel.
Theoretically private, but remember, this is the Montebello.
Okay. So I probably should. Then if they can hack our comms, it's not the best time to tell the guys the
No.
information. We have enough of a firefight ahead.
Yeah.
I do whisper it to Jumper before we start, so she'll keep an eye out.
All right, so she turns her back to you. Okay, so she won't be lending assistance to your attack. She turns her back to you, and she's on Overwatch against an attack from the rear.
You can't say I never show you a good time, Lieutenant. So let's get ready. So let's go.
Shoot the glass.
Anything else beyond the medium and the aim modifier?
Nothing.
Okay, that's 3 successes.
Yay.
And no, I did roll a 1, but I don't have any stress dice right now, unless I had one from this acid. No.
No.
All right. So 3 successes.
Okay, that's nice. What are you going to do with the other 2? More damage?
Yeah, I gotta take one of these guys down, and I'm not doing auto fire, so so that's so that would be a total of 4 damage.
Okay. So, and it's armor piercing. Okay. Farthest or closest?
Farthest.
All right. So that they've got their sidearms to the head of the blindfolded, manacled, hospital shirt wearing hostage. And he's suddenly just not there.
Nice.
Now, he wasn't holding the hostage, right? He's standing behind the hostage with, so he's just hit and gone over the edge, right? But not dead. Okay. And he does scream briefly before hitting, and the scream stops. Okay.
All right.
2 behind Rios and Patch. That's the direction that they're looking, right? But they're very close. They're close enough to occasionally poke you with the pulse rifle, right? So the chance that they can't quite see it. So that's Kaminsky and Jumper on 1. Jumper's on Overwatch. On 2, we have nobody. On 3,
NPCs.
we have reinforcements. On 4, we have the NPCs. All right. So one of those NPCs is now dead. Okay. The one that you didn't shoot, right, ducks down, taking cover, right, behind the hostages, and just opens fire. Remember, he's just got a sidearm, right? So he's just taking random shots, right? He has a vague idea where the shots came from, so he's shooting on the correct side of the Cheyenne, but he's unlikely to hit. He has, of course, some stress because he's under fire. And, bullets are spanging off the strut and off the side of the Cheyenne and off the landing pad itself. But Kaminsky, you are unhit.
Unhit. I like that.
5, also NPCs. These are the ones behind Rios and Patch, right? One of them yells, "Get him!" right? And opens fire.
Towards Kaminsky.
No,
You wish.
towards Rios, who's not carrying the incredibly precious package.
Correct.
But he's at -3 dice because of proximity.
Right. Okay.
Not quite.
Remember that they are using not USC MC material for the most part, right? And he gets a dud round.
Oh.
You hear the click right behind your head. Please add 1 stress. But no fire, right? Just click.
Nice.
Baxter, there's now shooting around the ship. The ship itself has been shot multiple times. Some guy's just wanging away with his handgun.
And no, but it's my turn.
Just letting him know, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm seeing all this. Yeah, this is great. I'm like,
Okay,
It's
so
like a IMAX for Baxter.
how far are the two guys behind me who just tried to shoot me?
Well, they're
Is it engaged ranged?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's -3 to shoot, right?
Yep.
That's
Well, and I
And you're at
think
short
that
range to the hostages.
right.
Patch.
the plan was to focus on the hostage guys,
I
right?
know.
And I was gonna I think I would have said this before we came off that, you know, I was just gonna give them a mouthful of crate. That's the plan.
So who you're throwing the crate at? The guys behind us?
Behind us. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
literally
okay,
gonna
so-
take the crate
so you know-
behind and just
Take your initiative. Yeah, do it on your turn.
you want me to do that?
Yeah, why not?
All right. So that would be close combat.
So I'm going to give your initiative back.
Yep.
Yeah, close combat. And the crate, although it's empty, so let's give it a 1, a rating of 1.
Okay. So I've got 2 strength, 1 close combat, 1 bonus from the crate plus 4 stress. So half my dice are stress. All right, 2 successes, but before we have that, we've got 2 huggers.
Well, only think of it as
One
just one
matters.
hugger, right? So roll a d6. You're currently at
This
a
will be-
panic rating of 7. So you're going to
7,
go
this
to
will
8
be plus
regardless.
4.
Yeah.
So this will be 8. 4 plus 4. No, 6, right? Because of -2 for nerves of steel.
But
So I
it's
just
still
stay at
going
7.
up by. It's still going up by 1 because of the panic roll.
So I go to 8.
Yeah, so you're going to 8. Okay. Which affects your stress and no one else's.
Yep. But I did get 2 successes.
That's fantastic.
And I'd like to see, if it's possible, I'd love to spend the extra success to hit them both.
Normally not, but this is, a big crate, so why not?
Great.
Okay. This will also add a stress. Same as
Got
with
it.
auto fire.
To whom?
To him.
To Patch. Okay.
Patch is 6 stress. He's not.
putting us all into using that crate,
Yeah,
not
this is-
giving to each other.
This is it, kids.
Okay. So you hit them, and this is not armor piercing, right? So I'm going to check their armor. Okay. So they get hit. They don't appear to be wounded, but you're right up in their face with this crate that's obscuring their weapons fire. They're going to have to react to that when they have the opportunity.
That was the idea, is to get gun barrels off of our heads. So
All right, Rios. Patch is kind of peeled off from you. You're like a step ahead because he's bashed into them with the crate. You have a target-rich environment, but most of the targets are friendly.
Ah,
Mm, do the 2 synthetics have weapons on them visible?
They don't have weapons, so they may simply be here just as labor, right?
Right.
They don't. Remember,
Uh,
they're not like Wayland-Yutani synthetics who move like humans and are superior in all ways. They are.
yes. Yeah. Working Joes. Yeah. So we got one guy behind the hostages
One guy
shooting
behind
at
2 hostages.
Kaminsky.
Yep.
Then we got our 2 guys who just got hit by a crate.
Right, and they're behind you, right? So
And
and
they're
Patch is
behind
between you and them.
us. So I am going to shoot the guys who just got hit by the crate, is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Because I'm going to lift my, I'm hoping Kaminsky can take the other guy. So I'm going to take my pulse rifle that, got it on a shoulder strap, right? And lift it up And then I'm going to go full auto on the two guys with the crate.
Okay.
Are
Patches
they
in-
adding
Patches in the way.
patches in the way? Hmm.
Details.
Yeah, that just means I can't take them both. If to hit patch, I would have to what? Roll face huggers?
To hit Patch, you'd have to miss. Right, because Patch is there, he's counting as cover, right? So if you wind up missing because of not rolling any successes or because their cover dice protect them, then you wind up taking Patch. But you don't have to, like spray across in a straight line. We could be talking about 3-round bursts. Right.
So, well, that's unfortunately, Patch, I'm going to have to risk it.
I get it.
Okay, so the range is still engaged?
Yep.
Or are they further
Range
out because they
engaged.
just got hit by the
Yep.
thing? Okay, so engage is -3 die. I have 6 plus 3 from the auto fire, but that would be just 6. Auto fire gives me an extra stress.
Yep.
So that is 6 and 2 stress,
And Patch is going to give
And-
you a stress.
an extra stress on top of that.
Yep.
Okay. So let me mark it down. Hang on. Okay.
Okay.
And the cover.
The cover I roll after you shoot. So
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. So here we go. Come on.
look at the 6.
Okay. No face
wow.
huggers, but only 1 6. So I think I'm going to push that.
Yeah.
Which gives me an extra stress, right? And I could just roll do I keep the 6 and I roll the
Keep
other
6,
dice?
you roll everything else. Yep.
It's been a while.
I know.
This is really good or really stupid. So sorry about that. Uh-oh, really stupid. Okay, well, hold your horses. That's
got
3
yours.
hits.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So,
It is.
Let us
It's awesome.
roll the
1d6.
stress, the panic die. Fuck.
6.
Oh,
Ah. So that is a 9.
it's not a 10. That's good.
So I guess I drop the
Drop item.
rifle after I shoot them.
I get to decide what you drop.
And it's after I shoot them. So it's fine. I'm cool. You
Yeah.
know, it's fine. I get an extra stress. Let me mark it down. I'm up to 4 stress now, but those 3, 1 hits. The second, I steal their initiative. So these are the guys on 5, right?
These
The
are
guys who go on 5?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm trading my initiative with theirs. I'm now going 5. They go on 6. No, I'm sorry. They go on 7.
They go on 7.
Yeah. 5. They go on 7. And that last die, what do I want to do with the last one?
You got to hit the
You
other
can
guy.
either pin the enemy to make him a panic roll or hit the other guy. Let's hit the other guy.
Hit the other guy, I think.
Wait,
it's-
Yeah. So I hit the other guy.
what were you doing full auto?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
So damage is 2 for each. And I stole their initiative. And that's that.
Okay. This is armor piercing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So they take that damage. So they're reeling back. They've been hit. Their armor has protected them. They're not dead, but they are definitely injured and rocked and surprised that you would fire around your own guy.
What item do I drop?
Because of the rapidness of everything, right? And you've now just emptied your clip, right? You've dropped your other reload.
Okay. So I'm holding a gun with 1 clip. No, with 0 clips.
0. You're out.
It makes sense. You emptied, and as you tried to reload, to do a
Yeah.
combat reload, it slipped from your hand. That actually makes sense.
Patch, your ears are ringing, right?
Yeah.
These guys are reeling back from you, having been shot. But this brings us to 8. There is no 8, 9, 10.
Big B.
Back
the
Baxter.
wizard.
And well, let's see. So in front of me are 2 synthetics who I've been told I should shoot. But there's
It would be
also,
extremely difficult because they're so close.
they're so close. And there's also this one guy that's like hiding, kind of drop down hiding, trying to hide behind the hostages.
Right.
And take shots at Kaminsky. And
And
he
there would
seems to
be
be
no
the,
way with this cannon to shoot him
Yeah.
without liquefying the hostages.
That's
Doesn't
terrible.
mean you can't do it. I'm not saying no. I'm explaining the consequence.
What will happen? Yeah, the consequences.
So who can he shoot? That's
And the androids. Now, the other stuff, the vista behind all these guys, is this where other doors would open, or not really, or
Right, you're on the second floor, so there are open
Right,
gantries and there's cranes to move heavy equipment, move ordnance, and
right?
that kind of stuff.
You can
So-
always take Overwatch if you want, right? So that's another
That's
possibility.
what I was thinking, is possibly taking Overwatch and
Right.
thinking.
There are several
Um,
points up here where people could come charging in, like reinforcements could come in, and in fact they would
True.
have to come in from that direction. They can't come
Right.
in from behind the Cheyenne.
Yeah, then I'm gonna just go on Overwatch and just assume at this point that I don't want to kill the other Marines at this point. I probably know their names, and unless the Joes do something, from my experience, they're not really a threat.
All right, Baxter, can I have an observation check, please?
Absolutely, observation check. I add my stress to this too.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
of course I do. Of course I do. All righty, here we go. Observation. All righty, let's take a look and see what the survey said. No face huggers and 1-6.
Okay. There is some kind of, maybe it's cooling metal, that kind of that denting noise kind of thing up top seems to be moving across the upper surface of the hull. But weirdly, much more weirdly than that, is the sound of some liquid dripping inside the ship from somewhere behind you.
I'm looking around, and tell me you really gave me that grenade pass.
At least you got a handgun, because I did give you a handgun. So
Geez, let's see. Can I? But that would break Overwatch, wouldn't it? I'm looking behind me.
So looking behind you,
Yeah.
can see that the interior was all in operations light. It's in that red
Right.
light, not to destroy your night vision. But now the brilliant white light of the landing bay is streaming down through a hole in the Cheyenne that didn't used to be there.
Oh, God. How big is the hole?
Well,
Okay.
big.
Not big enough.
and there's steam rising up from the floor.
Oh God.
So that brings us back to Kaminsky.
All right. So I'm gonna try and shoot the other hostage guy. So medium range,
Yep.
fast action to aim. Anything else that applies?
He's using the hostage as cover. So if the covered dice work and cancel out your damage, that will be the reason that.
Okay.
Okay.
We got two successes. I look at the ones and I forget I don't have any stress die.
Right.
So 2 successes.
All right.
Obviously, I think the extra success, instead of damage, I try to use it for the knocking down stunt.
Sure.
See if I
it's a
can
good
push
one.
him away from the hostages.
Right, which will push him over the edge. And I rolled a
Right.
2, a 1, and a 5 on his cover dice. So they you got
So he
him. You
takes
hit him.
all 2 dices. Yeah. Excellent.
All right. So the
So
second one
2
goes.
damage.
Yeah, he doesn't even have time to scream. He just goes over the edge, right? And you hear a clatter of his equipment and his crunching bones as he hits the hard deck below.
Nice.
Now, they're probably both still alive. The fall probably isn't enough to kill them, but it is enough to take them out of the fight for sure.
Right. And obviously, I haven't heard Jumper shoot in either
Right.
round, so
She's
still an
I'm going to
Overwatch.
renew her Overwatch behind you. All right. This brings us to reinforcements. Okay. No reinforcements this round. This brings us to the dead NPCs, which brings us to Rios. Or yes, Rios took the initiative.
I took the 5
Which
spot.
brings us to Rios. Yeah.
So I got the 2 guys on the floor. That's
Right.
all I got.
They're no longer engaged with Patch, right? You have enough
Nice.
space that you don't have to shoot around or through him,
Right. So, but I'm holding an empty gun.
but you're holding an empty gun with
So-
no reloads.
So I drop the gun so that it swings on the shoulder strap, and I draw my sidearm as a fast action, and I'm going to shoot one of the guys. I'm going to shoot one of the bad guys. The range is what? Short or engaged?
Short.
Short. Okay. So short has no penalties.
Right.
The gun gives me a 2 bonus.
Yep.
And I have 4 stress dice, which is awful. And here we
No,
go.
that's good.
No, that's awful. Because
Yes, that's awful.
Whoa.
4 successes.
And
4.
4.
4, that's right. There's a 6 in this corner, but that's a face hugger.
It's a 10 at least.
So, and that's the thing. Whatever I roll, it's at least a 10, right? Because I can't, even if I roll a 1 and it's a 6, it still goes to over 10. So it's 4 and 4 is 8, but it has to be 10 because my previous roll was 9. So I freeze and I lose the next slow action.
Right.
Stress level goes up and stress level of all friendly PCs in short range of you increases by 1.
That's just Patch.
So that's just Patch. You get another stress.
Okay. So here's the reason. Okay. You drop the gun, you pull out the sidearm, you're bringing it to bear, and that's when you see the tail.
Yeah.
Hanging off the side of the Cheyenne, right? The heavy barbed tail. And what it's doing is punching through the merc in front of you that you were about to shoot, coming out his chest and lifting him up off the deck.
Nice.
So see, it doesn't matter that you've automatically failed because of having a 10. Yeah, he's dead anyway.
Looks like our hitchhiker
Killed him. You
picked
got him,
sides.
man. You got him.
I shot him with an alien. So Rios is frozen. Patch, you're the only one who knows he's frozen, but his freezing in this moment of horror is affecting you, right? Which takes
Yep.
you to what now?
It gives me an extra stress, right? So it's 6.
Yeah,
1,
you're at
2,
6 stress.
3,
So what about
4,
Patch?
5, 6.
Oh, I'm at 7.
7. Eat.
Everything's fine.
All right. So Patch is on 6 for initiative.
All right. We're on this catwalk. I'm facing the now impaled Merc. The other Merc is on the ground.
The other, they've reeled back. They haven't fallen down, but
Okay, so they're kind of reeled back. Behind me is the whole hostage situation. Is there anything? Is there a ladder? Does the catwalk extend into the? Is there a door, or is it just
all of that?
Am I blocked at both ends?
Yeah, you're blocked on the sides and at the back. You have to go to the front of the ship to get down
through the hostages.
Through the hostages.
Group.
Yeah.
All right.
And you got a crate. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I'm dropping the crate, and I'm grabbing the back of Bodie's, grabbing his handle, and so I'm trying to imagine, and I don't know how much of this I can do. Right, I'm imagining dropping the crate.
Yep.
Left hand grabs Bodie, understanding exactly what's happening. My other arm is trying to bring my pulse rifle around. Right, because I had it strapped to my back. I want to bring it up.
Too much.
That's
what you want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm less concerned about the gun. I'm more concerned about getting my hands on Bodie and moving. Right. So we're charging the hostage group.
Okay. So Bodie's behind because he's being pulled. The pulse rifle just can't agree with you. The physics don't work. And so you move in on the hostages who still have no idea what's going on. Like the bullets are going all around them, right? They're hearing them whip past their ears or go between the legs of their hospital shirt, right? And their hostage takers are disappearing. And there's crashes behind them, So
and I'm yelling. I'm going to yell, "Run!" And it's directed at the hostages, but everybody can hear me.
So thinly through the hull of the ship, Baxter, you can hear Patch yelling, "Run!" The Marines, hostages to their credit, are standing stock still in case more sniper fire is needed. Right, they're doing their best to just not move. Right, and Rios, you're being pulled from behind. Right, in your moment of panic as this body is being lifted up by this barbed tail. Right, to disappear over the top of the Cheyenne. Right, and the realizations are clicking. Right, this thing rode the Cheyenne up from the surface
in space.
In space. Okay.
Yeah, I'm.
Brings us to Baxter.
Big B.
Oh God, I'm looking. I'd love to have something to shoot. So please, God, something. Give me something to shoot over here. But
Baxter can't see the alien.
No, right now. I mean, so far it's not my. I know there's something there.
Maybe when the whole surface of the ship dissolves, you'll be able to see it. But
okay.
And I'm still.
Because it's still on top. It's still on top of the ship.
The good news is it's not in there with you. So
yes,
there's only one thing I can do. Hit the comms. Lim, Baxter here. Your specimen got loose. It's in the hold. Come get
it. And that is a beautiful place to cut it for.
Nice. Nice.
What else do you say in a moment like that? Yeah, come on. I'm taking the money. We did what you asked. It's just loose.
Okay. We have a couple of minutes to talk. Anything you want to talk about?
I think we just ran into the death spiral problem. Because it's fun rolling on the panic table, but once you hit 9, taking further action that is not either linked to the talent which allows you to act, or going for the nap relief, which is what I'm going to do next session, is hit myself with a nap relief. It only gives you -1 agility. So it's a 1 die penalty, which is nothing. But that's the only action that you can realistically take.
the command roll, right? As
the
as-
command
right, as
roll, that makes
the
sense.
commanders
Has to snap you out of it. Yeah.
right. So we've got our chain of command, right? We've got our sergeant, our lance corporal, our corporal, our PFCs, right? As you go down the chain, there's lots of people who can snap you out of it.
Right. Right. Because I'd realized after I rolled that it's doomed to failure. I can't, it's once you hit 9 panic, your next action has to be napper leave or any non-die rolling action. So that's the only, unless in the interim, somebody does the command roll to you, because you can't do the command roll on yourself.
Right.
So if your turn comes around and you're already sitting at 9, either don't roll or hit yourself a napper leave.
Right. And there's
That's
some
the only-
contexts where it's not appropriate, right? Like, and we also have the banter talent, right? So someone could be, if the tension is building up because of an ambush or something like this, or we know the aliens out there, we see the motion tracker, it's coming closer, but we're not actually fighting now. There could be banter going on. There could be, keep it together, Marine commanding going on. But in this particular situation where your forces can't see each other, you're kind of split up, you're doing small unit actions, panic suddenly spiked, right? You froze in the moment.
Right. But it was to the point where I shouldn't, if one wants to play optimally and tactically and all that stuff, which not necessarily is a thing you would do, it's not worth attempting to shoot, because it's, they're only, you would need to roll a 14, which with the amount of stress that you have is not feasible, because you'd have to be rolling plus a 6 plus 8 stress. So it's the only way you get to 14 where you can attack. And if you don't have the right talent, at that point, the only thing you can do is napper leave or non-combat actions. And that's an interesting situation to be in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess the workaround is the command talent.
Right, because you're all coming, or the command skill, right? Because you're all coming
The command
together at
skill.
the front of the ship. You're about to meet
Right.
at the front of the ship, right? And so you're not going to have to endure being in that state for any particular time. And the freezing is, you lose this action, you lose your next slow action.
Correct.
But you have your next, you lose your next fast action, but you lose have your next slow action in the next turn. So
no, the other way around. You lose the next slow
action, but not a slow.
But you do have a fast, right?
So, Aloy, you said you called it the death spiral problem. Is that just problem from a player perspective or from a system perspective? Like, do you think that this is a problem?
I think this is, death spirals are a thing in multiple systems, right?
Right.
Liking it or not liking it as a player
is correct. But it's because I forgot about the command talent, it suddenly seemed like I couldn't do anything else except napper leave. And but the redeeming, the thing that breaks the death spiral is the command talent, because otherwise the game just becomes, napper leave is absolutely essential for every single crew member. Otherwise you're not going to do anything. When you hit the death spiral, you will stop rolling dice, because the mechanics do not incentivize you to roll dice at this point. And then you would just have to hit yourself a napper leave. But the thing that breaks the death spiral is the command talent, right? Because otherwise I would stop acting, right? It's like, okay, so I run, or I go take cover, or
Yeah, I get the point. That the problem is, once you're in the spiral, anything you do
is useless. There's no action that you can take. Correct. Don't even attempt it.
Yeah.
Don't even attempt it, because it's just
that's not good. That's not good for the game. It's absolute fiction. Well, the death spiral so bad, I might as well just sit here.
Exactly. Except that it can be broken by
on your stress die.
That too. But if you're already sitting at 9, you have at least 3 stress, right? So that's the only way you get to 9. So it's, again, it's the thing that does. If there were no alternatives, I would say this is a broken mechanic. But the thing that does not make it a broken mechanic is that there's two ways out of it. One is the command roll, which is the mainstay, I would say, because not everybody has nap relief. Right. And so you are in a situation where you do not have nap relief. You can still escape via the command roll, which every player can attempt. Whether you succeed or not is a different proposal.
Well, you have a chance.
But it's, if you didn't have the command talent, then you basically stop playing at that point, right?
Right. This is
But it
where
doesn't
the
happen.
character
It doesn't
starts.
happen.
Yeah.
Command roll redeems the mechanic, right? It's no longer a broken system. It's a perfectly workable system. I just forgot about command.
I think that fits the genre though too, because you see in like Aliens constantly these guys like snap the hell out of it,
And that's fine. That's fine. That's no problem. As long as it's not broken and doesn't lead to a dead end.
Right.
It's fine. It's fine.
I had several favorite moments of the session, to be honest with you. It was I love the fact that Kaminsky had to make that awful decision to shoot Holden. That was fantastic. I was like, oh, even though I'm like not, my character's not saying that, it was like horrible just to kind of know what the right thing to do in that particular case is and just have to do this. Yeah. And then the kind of terror of these things being on the ship. Did one make it or not make it? Up here, then that moment where the acid's coming down, you realize, oh crap, we've got a problem. And then even the moment where Bodhi like froze was just I guess by happenstance perfect.
Yep.
As the tale of the creature goes through there, because that's kind of what you see anyway in various sections of the movies. Like that is where like the toughest person was like, holy crap, this is bad.
Yeah,
And
how
to
else
be
can you
clear,
explain it?
and to be clear, the problem is not that my character could die at any minute after that. It's that I can't act.
Right. If you have to make a choice between making things worse for everybody with a very unlikely chance of success and not doing anything,
you're probably better off.
That's a rough choice. That's a rough choice.
But command redeems it, right? It's just a way out. It's just I didn't get to it. Or I maybe should have done the nap relief first. Instead of shooting, just go for the nap relief directly.
But that is kind of what we see in the movies though at some point.
True.
Like even these hardened Marines, like when they come up against something like that, they're just like, and some of them just freeze. And my other favorite part of the session was like sitting there as Baxter, realizing that like based on our situation and our plan, the likelihood of saving my leg is becoming less and is going way down. And so then they're pretty much here I am kind of like strapping myself in, like taking one for the team, like okay, well, it looks like this is what we're gonna do. And that was it just internally experienced, but that was it wasn't not on my mind, but at the same time, I don't think Baxter would have mentioned it at that point. It's like, well, I got a job to do. So,
I'm personally super surprised that our plan has worked this far. So it's like, I didn't think we were getting down the ramp, but hey.
So you're calling where we are right now working. Well, that's good. You're an optimist, Bodhi, but
it is working.
You've got allies. The alien is fighting on your side.
Yeah, so far. And as alien singular right now, and I've got no. Yeah. But no, that was a fun session. I liked it. I mean, the externally it moved a little slow, but it didn't really matter because it was kind of an interesting little trip up there. Now what? Yeah. Here we are. Having them egg on our tail really was cool too, because it took a lot of options away from us. So we couldn't just rely on doing that big, having jumpers sneak us in or insert us someplace and come out guns ablaze and in the same way.
So if you look in teams, I added two new sections to the combat sheet. One of which has the ranges, right? Because space combat is built around, relative ranges and relative velocities. So I just made a simple chart where you can just drag and drop the ranges between the different ships, right? So you know at a glance how far you are away from the Montebello and how far you are away from the MiG, and that sets the difficulty for shooting and being shot and that kind of stuff. So I added that in. That's in the alien docking bay file.
Got it.
And we didn't use the new sheet, the engagement sheet in the crap tracker, but you can take a look at that if you
Oh,
like.
high orbit. Oh, this is nice. Ranges, everything. And this is all in the file section in case you
Yeah, in
guys
Teams.
ran into the same problem that I just did. Like, where are they? And it's in files.
Yeah, it's always in files. Yeah, so
So there's
Yeah.
is there a third slide in the craft tracker?
in crap tracker there is a third slide called engagement.
It's not there yet.
Not there. Not seeing
Okay,
it.
maybe it'll update soon, or maybe I forgot to upload it. I don't remember.
That's no, it has to be a technical problem. It couldn't be you, Anthony.
Yeah, so the engagement one, which is right here, it lists Kaminsky, Rios, Baxter, Patch, and other, and then it has their weapon, health, critical, and
Nice.
target, and it's got things for me to drag and drop on, so he's using a smart gun, so I drop that on weapon. He's just taken an injury. Is it fatal or non-fatal? I can drop that on,
Nice.
so we can just all see at a glance how everybody is.
Status. Yeah.
So Patch
That's
knows
great.
who he needs to run to right now to do a life-saving critical medical check, that kind of stuff, which you'd be able to see as, Baxter's got blood pumping out of him and Rios is standing there saying, my eye, which one should I deal with? Obviously it's Rios because,
Right. Baxter's done for.
Baxter's like spare parts.
Yeah, like pretty much. Yeah.
I will rise again. But anyway, so this was such a small little engagement with just a couple of opponents. It didn't seem worth it to drag that particular sheet out. And now to discover that it wasn't in the file section anyway, it just makes that decision even better. Yeah.
Yep.
It's the
Jose,
third
you're muted.
slide. I can't find the
Jose.
third slide. It's the third slide.
We couldn't hear you, Jose. There you
Yeah, thank God it was just a small engagement.
go. Yeah.
Nothing very dangerous.
No, very
No,
simple.
not really.
Straightforward. And without any
opponents, I
complications.
mean.
That's the big
Yeah.
thing, right? It was exactly what we thought it would be. Which is
I actually love the crate, like, whacking the two guys. I thought that was like
That's
awesome.
great.
Like,
It's
that
pretty
was-
good
that was-
idea.
that was
Yeah.
another favorite
I mean,
moment.
bam,
Bam,
what would you do?
Yeah, hit him with a crate.
I will
What else
say,
would you do?
to credit to whoever designed the I guess the original concepts of the Marine armor, because we have gotten a lot of use out of that handle.
Yeah.
Of
We've used the shit out of that handle.
More than
up
any
in the
other
back.
piece of gear.
More than any other piece of gear. That's right.
There's a lot of I'm going to grab the handles that have happened all through these
Well,
sessions.
clearly, the designers that had experience with rolling a 10 or higher.
That's right.
where
They
the
had
Marine
experience with
clearly,
the Death
where the
Star.
Marine clearly freezes. So it's like, oh yes, oh he's got a 10. Yep, pull him out.
Oh, look at that puppy.
Oh,
Look at
This is
that
Tim,
puppy.
who has never
That's so
appeared
sweet.
in a live stream before. And
Yeah.
That's Tim.
this is
oh yeah,
Tim.
Tim the
Tim
troublemaker.
Tim lacks perspective in most of the shots, so I thought he was bigger.
Right.
He's 11 kilograms, right? So around 20 pounds.
25 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah. Good little puppy. Guys, it's always good playing with everybody. I got to
Yeah.
scoot.
Yeah, man.
You
Take
too.
care, everybody.
Take care.
Take it easy.
Bon
Cheers.
voyage.
I got to go too, but thanks
Yeah.
for chatting afterward. And
Awesome.
nice to get back to Alien.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for running
Cool.
it.
Yeah.
Thanks for leading us, Kaminsky. You got us.
Did it still seem fair?
Yeah. My only concern there was the possible death spiral, but the command roll is what saves it, right? Because my big thing is that it not depend on one solution,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, but there's snap relief, there's command, there's multiple talents that
There's
Kaminsky
time.
has already taken,
Yeah.
right? But if if it were only one of those things, then all of us would have to take the same talent, or all of us would have to take the Napoli. That's the sign that I hate.
Right.
I like multiple options, right? So there's multiple ways around this situation, which is
The
good.
tension builds up. We're
Mhm.
on the brink, and then this is the part where I lose control of my character, and then I die without being able to contribute. Right.
Right.
And again, it's I'd say it's not so much dying without being able to contribute. I guess it's getting to a point where you have to make a meta choice to not do anything because any roll will make it worse for the rest of the team.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
that is unsatisfying in that it's not that I'm panicked, it's that I choose not to do anything.
Right.
It's like
So as
meta.
not to make it
in
worse.
war
Yeah.
games, right? The only way to win is not to play.
Yes. Yeah. So that you don't want to be there. You want your guy to try something. not
Yeah, if your
necessarily to-
player ever says pass, it's your turn. What do you do? Well, nothing. Nothing. That's the death of a game. That's bad
Right.
design. Yeah.
So that is not this game. Yeah. So
That is not this game. This is what I want to make clear. I for a minute there, I was like, wait a minute, I have no choices, but I do. It's just I didn't think of them in the moment.
And speaking of fair, we're stabilizing. We're taking care of that wound for who was it? Patch was one of the people with the. Yep. Okay, fine. The ship is stable. Everything's fine. Well, we're going to do it for Baxter now. Oh my goodness, the ship is rocking and rolling. There's knives in his abdomen, and I'm thinking, come on, man.
That's just you, Ivan. That's just
I
you.
know. That's
It's just-
But this is part of the fun that I'm having with
right.
all the skills giving
Right.
you amounts of time. Like it takes
Right.
this much time to do this kind of thing. I don't
Right.
have to think about it. I don't have to say, well, probably in the fictional world of Alien, a doctor could handle a treatment like this
Right.
in a turn. And I don't have to do that. So
Yeah, if we ever play an RPG and Ivan's character is not 1 inch from death, it will be also disoriented. It's like, wait, what do you mean he gets to act and jump and
Oh my God! Imagine running for me and Del at the same time.
anyway, guys,
Between bills.
I gotta go. Thanks for playing.
Take care.
Take care.
Thank
All
you.
right. Best game of the year.
Bye-bye.